My name is Brian Masters, and I'm with Hope Coffee and Shiloh Coffee Supply. And today we are in one of the Hope Coffee shops. I'm going to demonstrate on our retro machine how to change the seals in the steam wands. You'll notice here, I'm going to show you what the problem is and how to fix it. You'll notice when we turn these steam wands on that it's dripping, and the water spout as well. You see the dripping in there. It's still functional, but there obviously is a washer in here that needs to be changed. Let me show you what that washer looks like. This is the pad washer. It's a little piece of rubber that looks like that, and this is what we're going to change out. It fits right behind this section here, and in order to get there, we're going to have to power this machine down and depressurize it and take all of the steam out of it so that we can pull these off. If you don't do that, you're going to get a lot of excess water coming at you, which we don't want. But that's how we're going to do that. And so I'm going to start that process. And then we will pause the video in a minute because it's going to take about 5 to 8 minutes for this thing to depressurize. So you just turn your pressure or your switch off. And at that point, you'll see your gauge is sitting between the 1 and 1.5 range. We're going to open up the steam valves and depressurize this whole thing. Well, welcome back. This has fully let the steam out. You will notice that the gauge is sitting right around 0. There's just a little bit coming out of the steam wand, but not much. It has fully released all the steam in it, and so it is ready to make that change. One other thing you'll notice on here, if you look at the sight glass, there is not a lot of water that went out of it. The steam just released enough in there to where the pressure is gone, but everything else is intact. And so we're going to start pulling this steam wand apart so you can start seeing how that works. You might have noticed that my mouth is moving differently because we had an audio issue. And so when you have an audio issue, you just kind of make things up and make this work. But what I'm showing you right now really is how to prepare your workspace for this deal. So if you have a trash hole right there, you want to make sure that's covered up because I have lost parts in that bin by pulling them out. Make sure that your space is ready to go ahead and take that part off. So if you want to grab your wrench, we're going to go ahead and put that on this turn knob. You want to be careful of how you're doing this. It is on there pretty tight, and you're just going to remove the first part of it where that part is there. So on this one here, I'm actually going to put another wrench on the back section so that we don't turn off the back part of it. You get your 2 wrenches on there. You can kind of grab and pull, and it's going to be a little bit hard to do as you're putting that pressure on there. You just want to make sure you're not turning off the back part, but just that front section. So as you get that on there, you'll make a few adjustments to make that work and get that tightened up, and then you're going to be able to put enough pressure on it to make that turn. So as we get that on there, you'll notice that I'm straining just a bit, but it will work and it will finally pull off, and it is now loose. And so we can start turning that section. You'll notice there is a washer that is behind there. That washer is going to come off with this, but you're noticing the back section is not turning. So with it depressurized, there's no danger in doing this, but you can turn those sections like that so that you're able to do it. Now it is pretty warm because it had steam in there built up. That part is hot, and so grab a rag and be able to start turning that section off. And when that comes off, be careful again not to lose the washer that's behind there. It's easy for that to fall down onto your workspace, but you want to grab that. And you can see the end of that. It's got that little, you can take the washer there, and let's put that in our parts bin. But you can notice the end of it. It's rubber, it's kind of decompressed. You'll see kind of a little knob on top of that. And you want to look in the hole there to make sure that everything is out. Sometimes there's little pieces of rubber that are stuck in there because that pad washer has fallen apart just a little bit. So check that, make sure that there are no parts in there. Then you want to grab a pair of needle nose pliers, which these really aren't that I'm using, but they're kind of like that. And you can kind of dig out that piece of rubber. You're not going to damage it. It's already used up, but you're not going to damage any parts in there. So you can kind of dig through there. And if you have a better pair of needle nose pliers, it works even better. But as you kind of pull on it, you'll notice that on occasion, right at the edge, you'll start to see that there are sections of it that are coming loose, and you might be able to peel that off just a little bit enough to make it pop off. But if not, you can always grab a screwdriver, which is what I'm going to do. I carry a small screwdriver with me that is helpful. And so if you put that right in that section there, you can kind of dig it out. There's probably a better tool for that, but again, you're not going to damage any parts as you're digging that section out. So once you kind of pry that out there, we're going to notice that that will just kind of pop out as you do that. And inside is very clean. There's no parts left in there, no rubber parts in there. So it is ready to go. And it's just like any regular water spigot where it turns on and turns off. So it's a very simple mechanical part. And the reason that was leaking is because this washer here had really been used up. You can tell the difference between these two for the thickness of them. You can see one side is flat on the new one, and on the old one it's got the dimple in it, and it's starting to wear down and tear apart. We've had this one in here about a year, and so about every year we're making several thousand drinks a week on it, and so this thing gets turned on and off an awful lot. The new one just kind of slips right in there. The bottom section of it is a little narrower, and then it goes into that top, and you can kind of see in that hole, just make sure that there's nothing else stuck in there, and then you can put the new part in, except you got to make sure you get the washer. It's easy to forget that. Put the washer on, and then you'll start turning it and getting it connected once again to the steam one. So as you turn that on, you're going to kind of tighten that up. It may be cool enough to hand tighten, but then you'll grab a wrench and finish that out and tighten it up. You want to tighten it pretty tight, but not tight enough to move the back part of that section. So as you kind of get there, you'll just kind of crank on it just a little bit, make sure it's tight and it's good. Then you can start turning that knob and turn it on and off. And it's good to do that a few times just to make sure that pad washer is seated in there. Then we're going to do the middle one and the other side here in a moment, but it's the exact same process as you just saw here. So we will come back to you when we are finished with that part. Okay, we're almost done, but we're on our last one over here. We got this one changed, we got this one. I did want to show you that this has a little taper to it. It's wider at one side than it is on the other. It's a little hard to see maybe in the film, but the tapered side, the smaller side, goes down and in. So it should fit just perfectly flush with the end of that. So once that's there, you've got your washer on, then you can go ahead and put it in and screw that in and get that turned on. Here we go. There it goes. It's cooled down enough where I can do it with my fingers. And I will tighten this more here in a second, but just for the sake of time, so you're not watching everything I do, I'm going to show you the steam wands because these washers, you can see the kind of the indentation that's there and different things. On occasion, parts of that rubber can break apart and travel down the steam tube, and they will get lodged in this bottom tip. So this tip here has 4 different screws or holes in it, and that rubber washer can clog that. So if you have no pressure or very low pressure in a steam wand that has these turn knobs like this, it's possible that there is a rubber tip or part that's down in here, and you just need to turn that off. So you can see there's a little flat side to it. I'll see if I can do this on camera. So you can get that on there, kind of hold it and twist that off. And I got the hole covered so I don't drop a piece down in there. But as you turn that off, you can see there should be 4 holes that are there. And when I look through that, I only see 3. Now, I don't know if you can see in there, but I only see 3 holes. So there's probably a piece of rubber that's clogging that a little bit. There's also a little washer right here, just to make sure that's still intact for that. But this needs to be cleaned out. So we're going to get a cleaning tool to be able to kind of poke through these holes and get that loose. Now we can tap on it and see if it comes out, but it hasn't yet. So we're going to get one of our cleaning brushes that has a kind of a poke on it and poke through here and see if we can clean that, and we'll be right back. Okay, I found our toothbrush. I'm sure there's a better name for it, but if you buy this from Fracino, we send you one of these free, as well as a Tapered. But if you buy them from Shiloh, a Fracino machine from us. All right, I'm just going to poke that right through those holes, make sure that those are clean, and see if we can get anything to come out of that, which we just did. You'll see that little piece of rubber that came from one of these pad washers. Traveled down the tube and was clogging one of those holes, which made the steam one not as powerful. Very simple fix, very easy fix, but if you have that, you'll want to be able to do that. So I'm going to put that back on here, and we'll tighten that up. And by the way, we teach all of our team, and you'll see on here it's not done as well as it could be. Make sure your steam wands are clean. Always use a wet towel that is clean to be able to wash that, but we want to make sure in between every time that you steam milk for a customer, you always want to have that clean because that's what's going in their drink. So anyway, that is that one, and we're going to test out this other one and see, and we'll make sure that one's clean as well, and then we'll be back and show you the power up cycle. Okay, now that we've gotten both steam tube tips clean, removal of any of the rubber parts from that pad washer in there. We've got our pad washers that are new ones in there. We're going to go ahead and power this up. Again, the hot water is already in the tank. It's going to fill up just a little bit because it's had steam that has been released, but it will start heating up, and you will notice that the steam gauge will start going from 0 up to that 1.0 to 1.5 mark where it needs to be. Again, one of the reasons we love these machines is because they are easy to do the maintenance yourself. You don't have to wait for the espresso repair guy to come. We can teach you all the different simple things to do on them, and these are easily repairable and much less cost than some of the other brands that are out there, yet they are quality products and quality parts that are made in England and put together by the Fracino team there. So we're going to let this power up, and we'll come back here in a moment, let you see the pressure gauge up, and then we're going to test these and see if the leaks are fixed and if there is more steam power in the steam ones than there first were. And if there aren't, then I'm going to have a surprise and we'll figure out how to fix that. But they are very easy to do, so I wanted you to see the whole process that we're going through. Okay, as this thing starts heating up, you'll notice that on top of your water gauge, there is a pressure valve. You can see it kind of bubbling there. As it builds pressure, it's going to push that valve up. So you will start to see maybe some water spurting or steam. That's normal until that fully closes. Now, sometimes if you want to, you can tap it with a flat-headed screwdriver. Just don't have your face down there because it's going to squirt hot water. But you're going to have that to where as it's pressuring up. So over here you can kind of see the pressure gauge as it's starting to go and climb. You're starting to build different pressure pieces in there. So we're almost there to do the testing. We're going to let it test up, get a little warmer here, and we'll be right back. Okay, now that the system is powered up, I'm going to show you. We've already tested this, so I know what's going to happen. But I want to show you that live. So here we got a steam wand working. Powerful, works great. There's no dripping. Here you will notice that it works great, but it will start dripping here in a second. Of course, we're live, so it isn't, but it was dripping right there. And the same with this one, which you see it's not dripping now that we're live. That's always interesting. What I was about to do is power it down and pull those back off and take apart this knob here so you can see the back side of that knob to see if there's anything in there that's preventing it from closing. Again, these are a simple valve, kind of like the water spigot on the back of your house, perhaps, where it's just an on-off type deal. So there really shouldn't be any water coming through to this. And it could have been a fluke, who knows? It is working at the moment. So I don't know what to say about that other than it is working the way it's supposed to be. I thought we were going to have an opportunity to show you that we repaired it and still had an issue that we had to go back and repair, but that may have been some residual elements that are no longer there. Again, they are simple to fix, and that's why we are trying to show you live what these things are doing and how to make that correction. And that's all done and ready to go for our team so they can continue to use this Fracino Retro machine. This one, by the way, you can look at it. It's actually kind of a little bit different because we've got the turn knobs and wooden handles. We've added the wooden handles just for aesthetics, the way that our customers see it. But this is the normal FCL retro machine that you will see on Fracino's website. It is the UL version, by the way. You'll see the taller legs here, and it's got a little extra wraps of insulation on the internal wiring, which makes it the UL certified versions for the US, easier to clean under. And just for instance, how we use it, we have trays under here. So we have a rag to clean out our portafilter. We have the green rag for our countertop and a white rag to wipe off the steam one. It's always nice to color code things for your employees to make it easy to use and easy to maintain. But thank you for watching. Hopefully that's helpful to you. If you have any of the turn knobs that need to be repaired from these pad washers, that's how you do it.